Well, hello everyone, and happy Friday! Welcome back for another air video. This is the first time in a long time I've had more air videos in a week than more tank videos. I did actually originally have a tank video planned for today, but I moved that to Monday, so you guys will see that Monday. So, getting to the video. You'll see I've got two battles here in this video. The first one is with a 150% booster, and the second one with a 300%, both Silver Lion boosters. And unfortunately for this one, as I had boosters turned on with a premium plane, I had planned to live record it. So I did hit my live record button, and then I failed to notice that it didn't start a live recording. So when I got to the end of the battle, I have a toggle button that turns recordings on and off. I hit that button again, and that's apparently when I started recording, and I didn't notice till way too late to get the DVR to catch the live video, which really kind of sucks because there were a couple people from my Discord in this battle and some other fans, and I lost out on all the live comms and live chat and everything, and answered a couple different questions and stuff in the battle that I would have liked to have had in the video, but oh well. Anyway, I skipped all the climbing and everything and the getting to the battle for you guys, and we pick it up where I'm chasing down a slightly battle-damaged BF-109G2 who's trying to get back to his base, and I want to prevent him from doing that. So I'm going to roll in behind him here, and he's going to run for the deck and friendly AAA, and I'm going to get on behind him. I did not turn my engine down to idle here, which is why I got up over 560 miles an hour in the dive, and ultimately decided to just play it safe and use that energy, rather than make any violent maneuvers to try and chase him down, just climb back up again, and leave two 109s down on the deck with no energy to climb back up, and I am flying back up to altitude with all the speed that I built up in that dive. So while I didn't get any kills or even fire any shots, I did leave two 109s down on the deck where they're going to have to burn a lot of energy to get back up to altitude to get in the fight, or just go home and land, which anyway takes them out of the fight for a little bit. Obviously I would have liked to have killed them, but it worked out as a slight advantage for our team. So back up at altitude, I'm going to roll back in to the fight, pick up this BF-109 that I can see over near a friendly Mustang, and I'm going to head in and see what I can do to catch up to him. So the reason I wasn't able to DVR the battle and get the live comms is that the DVR only goes back 20 minutes, and I didn't notice this till more than an hour later that I didn't have the live recording for this, unfortunately. So this time, having learned my lesson, I set the throttle to 0 long before I went into the dive to chase after this 109 F4. Still build up energy really quickly. He's maneuvering a little bit, not totally wild, but a little bit, and the best part of this battle is about to happen right here. I rolled off to actually come around behind him in the other direction, and then I look and see all the enemy Air Force landing on their front runway. So decided, you know what, screw it. I'm going in after him. I can't pass up an opportunity like this. So we're going in full throttle. That ought to keep those German fighters off our tail. And I thought I was dead by the AAA, but the guns, they've stopped. So here's the first guy that I was chasing down. Come in, light him up, destroy him, but I get no kill credit for it. I don't know what happened there. Couldn't quite get the nose down on the 109G2 there, but I've got so much energy blasting past here, and for whatever reason, the AAA is not firing at me. I didn't think this was ever going to work. I thought for sure I'm going to go in at these guys, the AAA is going to kill me, and that's going to be the end of the video. Not how it, and again, the AAA stopped firing at me. I don't know what was going on there. Come in, pick off the 109G2, taking off again, get in on this other 109G6, kill him, and then finish off the other G2 drop here, and make sure he can't repair, even though it was pretty obviously he wasn't going to be able to. I don't know what happened with the first 109 there. He didn't appear to be crashed until I shot him, and I didn't get any kill or kill score for him. I don't know. I'm at a loss to figure out what happened there. The original 109 that I was chasing after now comes back in for a head-on, and he's firing. I'm going to put some shots at him. His missed low, mine missed off to the side as he banked out of the way, and then I'm going to get back up into a spiraling, turning dogfight here with him. And I've got a friendly P-51 that's going to come in and join me. You can hear him behind me and above me. There he is. So we're going to get into a rolling, turning dogfight here with this 109 F4. You can see a Mosquito off in the distance. And I leveled off and rolled out to get a better angle of approach on the F4 there, while the P-51's got his attention. And then I'm going to bank back in and make another re-engage into the fight here and make a little bit better approach on him. Now, I'm going to make a few anticipatory bursts here, where I was firing ahead of time in hopes that he was going to fly through the stream of my gunfire. So you see that a couple times, including right here. This was the closest I came to actually hitting him in the pass. Just under him. But I had to fire in hopes that I was going to be lined up with him. I didn't have enough time to really maneuver on him. Come underneath him, get up, come around over the top. He's going back into a dive again. We've got a little bit, we're kind of trading energy states here, but I've got a little bit better retention. And we're going to get to the point here where it becomes a low altitude turning fight, and I'm going to ultimately just barely start to outturn him. Not so much in the first pass there. Coming around here in this pass, you're going to see me starting to catch up and cut inside his turn. I very nearly had a shot on him in this turn. Very close, just in front of my guns. And then in the next turn, I'm just holding so much more energy than he is in the turn, that as long as he didn't extend out and run away from this turn, I was going to have him on this pass. I got a hit on his left wing, which dragged his left wing down, and he flew into a tree, and that was it for my third kill of the battle. I didn't do a lot of damage to him. It was just enough to unbalance his lift characteristics with his left wing, and made him drag the left wing down, and that was it. He was low enough and right next to the trees that he was toast. Now that leaves the Mosquito out here in the front as the sole enemy aircraft remaining. It looks like he's chasing after our P-47 there. It's kind of hard to tell. The P-47's a bit distant. I can't really tell if he's trying to chase or if he's trying to just run for home. So I'm going to move in on him. I don't quite have the speed I would like after the fight with the 109 F4 and the climb out afterwards. But I'm going to move in. I had plenty of ammunition left. That's one thing you can't see in the replay here, as I had a whole lot of ammo left at this point in the battle. So no trouble going in. And the aircraft was it has a bit of yellow damage on the front, but it's not affecting the flight characteristics whatsoever. So thought I was going to be able to gain enough speed on the Mosquito here, and right about here is where his dive from altitude and being a much heavier aircraft in the dive starts pulling him away from me, as I just didn't have the altitude to gain up enough energy. So I'm going to fire a burst or two with my machine guns over the top of him before he gets too far away and try and get him to panic maneuver so that the P-47 can catch up to him. And we'll skip ahead a bit, and you can see that the P-47, who was also diving, dove later from about the same altitude as the Mosquito, and he was able to retain his energy much better, catch up, and just inevitably pour 8 machine gun streams into the Mosquito and finish him off. And that was the end of the battle. Kind of wish I had used the 300% booster on this battle, but the 150% paid out just fine. And the 300% ended up being alright too, as you'll see. But, roll back around, turn on the smoke, do my 3 victory rolls. And right as I finished the third roll, the battle ended. It was actually better timing for the battle ending in the live battle, because right as I rolled back level, the kill screen and everything came up right here. But it doesn't do it in the replay, sadly. The timing was a lot better in the live battle. But anyway, you can see the 150% Silver Lion booster paid out 71,000 lions, giving me 144,000 total. Second place, just behind the P-47 who got the last kill. There's all the awards. And there's the kill feed. Pretty good for the old XP-55. Now for the second battle, this is Norway. I had a 300% line booster turned on here. I used them in that order just because I hadn't flown my XP-55 in such a long time that I wanted to make sure that I didn't waste the 300% booster and find out that they'd changed the flight model, or I wasn't used to flying it, or I broke the wings in a dive or something like that. So come back up in Norway. Now this battle we pick up, I've already shot down the two out of the 3 BF-110s and got an assist on the third one after I'd shot his tail controls out and he'd gone into an inverted dive down towards the deck and somebody chased him down. But whatever, an assist is an assist. I definitely recommend if you guys are ever needing lions and you get Norway, go in and take out whatever AI your team gets to kill. They're a huge bit of score. They give you a lot of silver lions. They give you pretty good research, too. It's not the most glorious or spectacular or sexy kind of kills to get, but they pay really well. And they don't really maneuver. They shoot back at you, but that's it. And then go after whatever enemy live fighters you can find. So in this case, there were a couple 109s, a German P-47, C-205, a bunch of enemy aircraft up front, and a bunch of teammates all up there near them. Nobody's really engaged in any kind of a dogfight yet. So the P-47 is the first one to come within fighting distance. Roll down on him. I only had 103 cannon rounds left after all the chewing up the 110s. So I'm trying to be a little careful with my ammo here. I did shoot at the P-47 immediately as he got killed, which saved me somehow only firing a 2-round burst from my cannons at him. So I didn't waste any more ammo there. Went into a climb up at this 109 and never had a real good shot at him. He's going to fly away from me in his dive, and I'm going to turn around and go try and chase him down and take him off the F4U that he's very close on right here. So he elected not to chase our Corsair down to the deck, and I'm going to climb up on him, try and get a firing pass on him. He pulls in just a little bit tighter than I can keep the nose down. I shot a bit behind him, using up 28% of my precious 100 rounds that I had left. But again, just a little bit better energy retention coming out of the dive, and I'm going to get around behind him as he's trying to run away. Reset and aim just a little bit better here, and got a critical hit on his right flap, which should have affected his ability to turn and roll just a little bit, leaving me with 45 rounds left. So made sure I let the team know, hey, somebody's probably going to have to come and finish this guy off for me. 45 rounds is enough to kill him, but in a maneuvering fight, it's a little tricky. So we're going to follow him down in a dive. I know I've hit his right wing at least a little bit, enough to crit it, and trying to catch up to him and see if I can't finish him off in some sort of a turning fight. We've got a few teammates coming in close. We've got somebody landed on the airfield even though we aren't capturing it. Well, we're capturing it, but it's not captured yet, which was kind of funny. Made sure I didn't overshoot the 109F4 here. And he's just flailing around with his mouse just enough to keep my guns off of him. Gets a firing pass at the F6F5, thankfully doesn't hit him. And I don't know what this Wellington was thinking here, but watch this. No idea what he was trying to accomplish there. Anyway, I'm down to 4 cannon rounds left. Not enough to really do anything, and thankfully a teammate takes him out, and then nearly flies right through me. That was a Spitfire that nearly flew through me, not the guy who killed him. And then the Spitfire and the F4U start chewing up the AAA on the airfield that we're about to capture. I don't know what they were doing. I had no idea what the Wellington was trying to do, unless he was trying to avoid the F4, but the F4 was definitely not going after him. So we're more than halfway to 2/3 of the way to capturing the airfield, and guys are chewing up the AAA that's about to become our own friendly AAA. I don't know. And the Spitfire crashed while trying to shoot up AAA on the base that we were about to take. So, even better. So now that we got it, I'm going to land, I'm going to get more ammo, which I desperately, desperately need. And right as I'm rolling in to line myself up, set myself up for my landing approach here, roll back around, drop my throttle, and here comes a Ju-88. Now if he's coming in on an attack run, I assume he's probably going to be a Ju-88C. So we're going to hammer the throttle forward again and make sure I can at least outmaneuver him until the friendlies that are still armed can come and finish him. And he is a Ju-88C, and for some reason he flies into the sea. So I don't know. I don't know if he had compression going on or if he had wing damage or what, but problem solved. Time to go land. So we'll skip the landing and pick it up again after I've rearmed, refueled, repaired, taken off again, climbing out. And looking on the screen, there are 3 enemies left, one who's got no score at all, down at the bottom, and then 2 more. Now, unfortunately, somebody used a blind hunt way too early here, and the Avenger has also been already used in the battle, so for whatever reason, there was a team kill on the other team, but I think what happened there was the C-205 had already been damaged early on in the battle, because the guy who took the team kill there probably, he wasn't in the battle anymore, so I think what happened was they were probably in a dogfight, and he shot over his teammate's shoulder and damaged him up, and then that was it. And the other guy who was alive went and crashed somewhere too, right during the same time, so we went from 3 enemies to 1 enemy left very quickly. Not entirely sure about that sequence. But, just looking around behind me, just making sure there's nothing in sight, no bombers up at altitude going to space or anything. And then going to head in for the airfield. I'm assuming the guy's got to be AFK idling on the runway and hasn't been in the battle at all. I mean, he doesn't even have the 5 score that the guy above him had from probably being in a little bit of combat. So Super Mako 8523 and his F6, F5 up in front of me. We're both heading in towards the airfield to see where this guy is and make sure he's not AFK on their runway. Which is probably the most likely scenario. It's either that or he's just flying around idle somewhere or flying from edge to edge of the map. And in a moment, you can actually see, I'm going to be able to actually spot his dot. He is airborne again. And you can't quite see him yet, but during the live battle, I remember I could see his dot coming up off their airfield just a bit high and to the left. There he is, I can see him now. Just high and to the left of my gun reticle there, just over that lower, darker ridge, you can see his dot there. And then he comes within sight. Now the F6, F5, I'm not really sure why, but he elects to go for a head-on with him. It's a Ju-88C, so he's got cannons and machine guns coming out of the front. And the F6, F5, I know he's got 20mm cannons and machine guns too, but he's got a maneuverability advantage of 10 times as much as what the Ju-88 has. There's just no reason to go for a head-on with him. But he did. And he lost. So I'm going to not repeat the same mistake. Line up to bait him into a head-on, and then just use my extremely superior maneuverability to get way out of the way of his guns and then roll in behind him as we pass each other in the head-on. Just no reason at all to risk a head-on when you can easily get behind him and then only have to deal with the gunners instead of the player-controlled guns. And the gunners in this thing they're alright, but I mean with 7.92s, they're not going to do a lot to you. Go up behind him, pour a whole bunch of bursts into him, get some good engine damage, get a good fire going, roll off out of the way of those aforementioned gunners. Roll off, let the fire do its job, come back in around for another pass if necessary, and just sit back and wait for the fire. Now, I didn't think the fire was actually going to kill him because I wasn't getting any damage indications here. And then right as I line up behind him again, he blows up, and that's that. And that's the battle. So this was my 3rd kill of the battle, but only 1 player kill, so I only did 2 victory rolls here because the AI only count as a half each. So 2 victory rolls and the battle's over, and that's it. We have won, and a 300% booster, fairly well spent. Also, I should have finished the Blind Hunt award there, but I'm not sure if it actually gave it to me. I think it did. And there you have it. So 37,000 until the 300% booster pays, and then it goes all the way up to 170,000. Not too bad at all. 112,000 extra silver lions just from that booster. First place, not too shabby. And just a couple of awards. Didn't have a whole lot of actual fighting going on here. Spent a fair amount on the BF-110s, but kept a couple of enemies off my teammates and won the battle. So that'll do it. Have a good Friday, everybody. Thank you for stopping by and checking this one out. And there will be the tank battle that I talked about will be Monday's video. So we'll see you guys then. Thank you for coming by and have a great day.